To me, voting is very important. I think about how we got the voting right, and it's unbelievable. You talk about it started in 1848, and then we didn't get the right to vote until 1919. And all those years of those women never gave up, and what they were subjected to is unbelievable. Dragged off to jail, called all kinds of names, but they never gave up. Talk about determined. Some of those women spend their whole lives in this movement. So we have a lot to be grateful for. My two aunts that lived next door and 2 blocks away, um, they talked on the phone a lot with my mother, and they always voted. It was very important for them to vote. And they didn't want to have to read through all the material they got in the mail. So they'd call up my mother, and then my mother would talk to me, and then I would tell them, I feel we should vote for this, and we should vote for that, and that proposition. So basically, I think I had 4 votes for a very long time. My dad, on the other hand, never voted, not even once, and yet he was very, very interested in politics, especially when he retired. He lost his eyesight. He spent a lot of time on TV, and he followed everything that went on in the nation, specifically in the political field, but he never voted. I said, Pop, you need to vote. He said, it's 1 vote, and what difference does that make? And I said, there's hundreds of thousands of 1 votes that would make the difference in an election, but he never voted. And you think about, my mother was born in 1904, my aunt's right before the turn of the century, and yet to them, I think it was not so much of a civic duty as it was part of their religion. They were very devout Catholics, and it was your duty to vote. When I was a young woman, we voted, but we didn't get involved. Young kids nowadays are very involved. When I was in high school, and even when I graduated, politics was not something that we were interested in. And young Latinos are very progressive, and they were involved in things. It would never occur to us to go on a march. That was unheard of. Kids nowadays, high school kids organize marches. So I think it's wonderful that they're so involved. Everybody needs to get out and vote. Don't just complain about things. Get out there and vote.